What if I told you that some ordinary-looking 2-pence coins from 1990 to 2015 could actually be worth way more than their face value? These tiny copper coins hide rare minting errors, secret variations, and untold royal stories that most people have never heard of. So keep watching, because as we go further, I'll reveal information so shocking that it might just change the way you look at every coin in your collection forever. Welcome back to Numis Explorer. The story of the 1992 pence coin begins with a fascinating mix of royal tradition, numismatic change, and hidden value that most people overlook. When you hold a 1992 pence coin in your hand, you're actually holding a piece of Britain's modern monetary evolution, a coin that carries not just its bronze shine, but a tale of transformation. The 2-pence was first introduced in 1971, during the decimalization of the British currency system, replacing the old pennies and shillings with a simpler format. But the 1990 issue came with its own distinct charm, a small change that marked a significant era. It was minted under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, featuring her iconic portrait designed by Raphael Maklauf, a design that reflected both elegance and royal authority. The coin was struck in bronze, with a diameter of 25.9 millimeters and a weight of 7.12 grams, continuing the specifications set since 1971. Yet, what makes the 1990 coin so special is not just its look, it's what it represents. The final stretch of the original bronze era before the Royal Mint shifted materials and designs in the following years as you flip the coin. The reverse design instantly catches your attention. The badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, along with the German motto Ich diene, meaning I serve. This design, created by Christopher Ironside, is a powerful symbol of loyalty and royal heritage. But there's an interesting twist. Earlier versions of the 2-pence coins, from 1971 to 1981, carried the inscription New Pence instead of 2-pence. The 1990 version continued the corrected version, but some collectors are still on the hunt for rare error strikes or transitional pieces from this period. Imagine finding a coin in your drawer that, by a minting accident, carried the old New Pence design. Its value could skyrocket into the hundreds or even thousands of pounds. This subtle detail keeps collectors around the world curious, and that curiosity turns ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. Even though the 1992 pence coin may seem common, every collector knows the real excitement lies in the hunt for variations, die errors, and condition rarity. What adds another layer of mystery is how many of these coins still circulate today, unnoticed in jars and drawers, carrying hidden stories from the past 3 decades. The year 1990 also came at a time of economic and cultural change in the United Kingdom. The end of the 1980s brought new faces in leadership, new technology, and new visions of the future. Yet, through all that change, coins like the 2p continued to reflect national identity. Many people don't realize that these small coins traveled far beyond British shores. They reached Commonwealth nations, collectors' hands, and even themed collections worldwide. The coin's bronze color gives it a warm, nostalgic glow, but over time, due to oxidation, many have turned darker, creating a unique patina that makes each piece slightly different from another. This individuality means that no 2 old 2p coins look exactly the same. Each tells its own story through its wear, scratches, and color tone. For collectors, that uniqueness is pure gold because even the tiniest difference can make one coin stand out among thousands. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Did you know that some 1992 pence coins have been found with striking errors, doubling marks, or off-center prints? These rare minting errors turn an everyday 2p into a collector's jackpot. Imagine owning a coin that left the Royal Mint with a slight flaw, perhaps a misaligned strike or a faint double impression of the Queen's portrait. To most people, it's just a mistake. But in the world of numismatics, it's a miracle. These error coins can be worth hundreds, even thousands of times more than their face value, depending on the condition and rarity. So, before you toss away that old copper coin, take a closer look. You might be holding a rare piece of minting history. And here's the suspense. Not all these error coins have been documented yet. Some are still out there, hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone like you to discover them. What if one of those undiscovered treasures is sitting right now in your coin jar or wallet? In the grand story of British coinage, the 1992 pence stands as a quiet witness to a nation's changing times. It's not made of precious metal, nor does it boast a grand mintage story, but its real worth lies in its connection to everyday life, the transactions, the hands it passed through, and the years it has survived. Many collectors cherish it because it bridges two worlds: the traditional bronze coinage of the early decimal era and the modern copper-plated steel coins that followed after 1992. In a way, it's the last of its kind, a coin that marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. For true enthusiasts, finding a pristine, uncirculated 1992 pence coin is like discovering a time capsule of 20th century Britain. It reminds us that history isn't always locked in museums. Sometimes, it jingles quietly in your pocket. And as we move forward into the digital age, with coins slowly disappearing from daily use, these small metal discs become even more valuable, not just for their metal or rarity, but for the memories and legacy they carry. The story of the 1999 2-pence coin is far more interesting than it seems at first glance. While to many it's just a small piece of British change, this coin actually holds a remarkable place in the evolution of the UK's coinage system and tells a story that bridges tradition and transformation. The 2p coin was first introduced in 1971 when the United Kingdom switched to the decimal system, replacing the complex old pounds, shillings, and pence. By 1999, nearly 3 decades later, the coin had already gone through major material and design changes that reflected the nation's history. The 1999 version was struck in copper-plated steel rather than the traditional bronze used before 1992. This subtle change was more than just an economic decision. It symbolized modernization, efficiency, and the continuous adaptation of the Royal Mint to new technologies. When you hold the 1999 2-pence coin in your hand, you're not just holding metal. You're holding a symbol of Britain stepping into a new millennium, balancing heritage with progress. And for coin collectors and history lovers, that combination makes this coin a silent but powerful piece of the past. The obverse of the 1999 2-pence coin features the third crown portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklauf, showing her wearing the royal diadem. This portrait was used on UK coins from 1985 until 1997, but a few rare 1999 pieces still carried older dies by mistake, creating slight variations that fascinate numismatists to this day. Most coins from 1999, however, feature the more modern portrait by Ian Rank-Broadley, which first appeared in 1998. The Rank-Broadley portrait shows the Queen in a more realistic style, older, with a regal dignity that matched the new era Britain was entering. The edge of the coin is smooth, its weight is 7.12 grams, and its diameter is 25.9 millimeters. The reverse side displays the timeless design created by Christopher Ironside, the badge of the Prince of Wales, a trio of ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, along with the motto Ich Dien, which translates to I serve. It's simple, elegant, and meaningful, a design that has stood the test of time. But here's the secret that intrigues collectors. Not every 1999 2-pence coin is identical. Some were minted with subtle striking errors or variations in toning and metal finish that, when discovered, make them worth far more than their face value. The 1999 2-pence coin also came at a fascinating moment in Britain's monetary history. The late 1990s were a period of global change. New technology was reshaping industries. The world was preparing for the new millennium, and digital banking was slowly taking over cash transactions. Yet, the Royal Mint continued to strike traditional coins, ensuring that even the smallest denominations maintained their place in everyday life. It was a delicate balance between modernity and tradition, and the 2p coin embodied that perfectly. During this period, millions of these coins were produced, yet some were minted in sets or proof versions for collectors, giving them extra shine and lasting value. The copper-plated steel gave the coins a brighter appearance at first, but over time, exposure to air and moisture caused many of them to develop a darker tone, a unique patina that tells its own story. Some coins even exhibit magnetic properties due to the steel core, a detail that surprises people when they test them with magnets. A small, hidden scientific twist that adds to their charm. Imagine a coin that looks simple on the surface but hides chemistry, history, and art all at once. That's what makes the 1999 2 pence so special. But there's also a layer of mystery surrounding this coin that keeps collectors searching. Rumors have long circulated about certain error coins from 1999 that might have been struck with mismatched dies or even transitional designs. Some claim that a few new Pence versions were mistakenly struck using older dies from the 1970s. An incredibly rare possibility, though never officially confirmed by the Royal Mint. Even the idea of such an error excites collectors and drives them to inspect every coin they find. And then there's the thrill of the unknown. Could there be a 1999 2 pence with a double-struck image or off-center minting still out there, unnoticed in circulation? These tiny imperfections are what turn an ordinary piece of currency into a treasure. The suspense lies in the fact that, to this day, not all varieties of the 1999 coin have been catalogued. Some may still be sitting quietly in coin jars, drawers, or old purses across Britain, waiting for a sharp-eyed collector to discover them and reveal their hidden worth. Ultimately, the 1999 2 pence coin is more than just a denomination. It's a symbol of transition, technology, and time. It carries the essence of the late 20th century, a period when Britain honored its royal heritage while embracing the digital future. The coin is a tiny capsule of history, connecting generations who used it daily without realizing its silent significance. For collectors, it stands as a reminder that value isn't always measured by rarity alone, but by the story behind the metal. Each scratch, each tarnish mark, tells of hands that held it, pockets that carried it, and years it witnessed. In the coming years, as coins slowly disappear from daily transactions and digital currency takes over, pieces like the 1999 2 pence will become more than money. They'll become memories, artifacts of a tangible past. So, before you overlook that shiny 2p lying around, think again. Because in that simple coin could lie a forgotten story, a rare error, or even a priceless piece of Britain's hidden legacy, waiting for you to uncover it. The story of the 2001 2 pence coin is one that combines history, design evolution, and a hidden sense of mystery that keeps collectors fascinated even today. While it may appear to be just another small copper coin from your change, the truth is that every detail of the 2001 2 pence tells a story about Britain's royal legacy, its changing economy, and the silent artistry behind coin production at the Royal Mint. Introduced in 1971 during the decimalization of the British currency system, the 2 pence coin had already become one of the most recognizable coins in the UK. But the 2001 issue came at a time when Britain was transitioning into a new millennium, and coins like these were symbols of both heritage and modernization. By this year, the 2p coin was struck in copper-plated steel instead of the traditional bronze used before 1992. A change that not only saved costs but also marked a technological shift in minting. Each coin weighed about 7.12 grams, with a diameter of 25.9 millimeters, and carried a smooth edge that added a touch of simplicity to its elegant design. Yet, the real magic of the 2001 2 pence lies beyond its surface, in its connection to the people, the history it represents, and the mysteries that only true collectors notice. The obverse side of the 2001 2 pence coin features the fourth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This design, introduced in 1998, was considered more realistic than earlier versions. It portrayed the Queen maturely, proudly wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This portrait symbolized a monarch entering a new century with grace and strength, and for many collectors, it marked one of the most beautifully detailed portraits ever struck on British coinage. Around the portrait, the legend reads Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2 pence 2001, an abbreviation of the Latin Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. But what fascinates many coin enthusiasts is that during this period, the Royal Mint's production standards were at their peak, yet a few striking errors and die variations still occurred. Some 2001 2 pence coins have been reported with doubling on the lettering or faint ghosting impressions of the Queen's profile, rare errors that collectors prize dearly. It's these imperfections that make each coin unique, turning what seems ordinary into something extraordinary. The reverse side of the 2001 2 pence coin carries the timeless design by Christopher Ironside, the badge of the Prince of Wales. It features 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, with the motto Ich diene, a German phrase meaning I serve. This design had been on the coin since 1971, symbolizing loyalty and service, values deeply rooted in British heritage. However, by 2001, the design carried with it a nostalgic weight. It was one of the last few years before Britain would begin experimenting with new designs and reimagined themes in later coinage. The reverse of the coin also subtly tells the story of the changing materials in minting. The copper-plated steel composition meant the coin was magnetic, unlike its bronze predecessors. This little scientific fact continues to intrigue people even today. Take a magnet near a 2001 2p coin, and it'll cling to it, proving its steel core. Yet over time, exposure to air and moisture often led these coins to change color, developing a darker, rustic patina that gives older 2p coins their unique, aged character. Each coin, depending on where and how it's been kept, tells a slightly different visual story, and that's exactly what collectors adore about them. But here's where things get even more interesting. Among the millions of 2001 2p coins produced, a handful may have left the Royal Mint with subtle minting errors or anomalies that could make them worth far more than their face value. Some collectors have reported off-center strikes, slightly misaligned designs, or faint double minting marks that make these coins incredibly rare. Others claim to have found coins that appear to use older obverse dies from previous years, which, if verified, could be worth a small fortune. Imagine finding a coin that most people overlook, only to discover that it's a rare variant worth hundreds or even thousands of times its value. That's the thrill that drives coin collectors to examine every detail under magnifying glasses. The suspense doesn't end there, because the Royal Mint doesn't always disclose detailed minting records for every year. There's always a chance that undiscovered varieties or minting errors are still out there. Somewhere, sitting quietly in a coin jar or a forgotten drawer, could be a tiny piece of numismatic history just waiting for the right person to recognize its worth. The 2001 2p coin isn't just a piece of metal. It's a symbol of continuity, history, and hidden value. It bridges the gap between the classic coinage of the 20th century and the modern era of design and technology. For everyday people, it was a small coin used for daily purchases, but for historians and collectors, it's a piece of art carrying decades of British culture. Each detail, from the Queen's portrait to the Prince of Wales' feathers, reminds us of the monarchy's legacy and the craftsmanship of the Royal Mint. And as we move further into the digital age, where coins are slowly disappearing from our daily lives, pieces like the 2001 2p gain new importance. They're not just reminders of the past. They're artifacts that tell the story of a nation through metal and design. So next time you find a 2p coin from 2001, don't just see it as change, look closer, because it might hold a hidden story, a rare error, or a piece of history that makes it priceless. And who knows, maybe one of those forgotten coins lying in your home is not just 2p. It could be the treasure every collector dreams of discovering. The 2015 2p coin from the United Kingdom might look like an ordinary piece of change, but hidden within its copper-plated surface lies a fascinating story of history, transformation, and hidden value that few people truly understand. When you hold a 2015 2p coin, you're actually holding the result of more than 4 decades of British coinage evolution. A coin that symbolizes the balance between royal tradition and modern minting technology. First introduced in 1971 during the decimalization of Britain's currency, the 2p coin quickly became a symbol of the new, simplified monetary system. But by 2015, this small coin had already lived through numerous changes in design, metal composition, and minting processes. It was no longer made of bronze as the original versions were. Instead, it was struck in copper-plated steel, giving it both a bright appearance and a magnetic property. This change was not just practical. It represented the Royal Mint's effort to create cost-effective, durable coins that could withstand decades of circulation. Yet, the 2015 issue carried something more. It was part of a new generation of coins that showcased an innovative design concept introduced in 2008, one that connected all British coins through a single, unified shield design. On the obverse side, the 2015 2p coin features the fifth and final portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Jody Clark. This portrait is significant because it marked the Queen's longest reign and introduced a design that portrayed her in a more modern, yet dignified way, wearing the royal diadem crown. Unlike previous portraits, Clark's design was created using digital 3D modeling technology, making it one of the most detailed and lifelike representations of the monarch ever featured on British currency. Around the edge of the coin, the inscription reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2 pence 2015, which stands for De Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor. By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This traditional Latin phrase has appeared on coins for centuries, linking the 2015 coin to Britain's long royal heritage. The obverse design carries a certain regal charm, but what makes the 2015 version even more captivating is that it was one of the first 2 pence coins to be fully struck with the latest minting technology at the Royal Mint's state-of-the-art facility in Llantrisant, Wales. Each coin shines with precision, and the smallest details of the Queen's profile reveal the Mint's commitment to perfection. Yet, beneath that perfection, collectors always look for the unexpected errors, die varieties, or unusual strikes that might make one coin far more valuable than the rest. The reverse of the 2015 2 pence coin is where things take a fascinating artistic turn. Instead of the classic badge of the Prince of Wales, design that appeared on the 2p from 1971 to 2008, the modern reverse features a fragment of the Royal Shield of Arms, a design created by Matthew Dent. When all UK coins from 1p to 50p are placed together, they form the complete shield, a creative and symbolic design that links all denominations into one unified image of Britain's national identity. The 2p coin specifically shows the second quarter of this shield, part of the Lion Rampant of Scotland, representing courage and strength. This design change marked one of the most dramatic shifts in British coin history, combining tradition and modern design in a way that captivated both collectors and the public. But while this design was celebrated, it also introduced new possibilities for minting errors, coins with misaligned shields, double strikes, or partially missing details. These rare variations are the ones collectors dream of finding, because even the smallest deviation can multiply a coin's value exponentially. Imagine discovering a 2 pence coin with a faint doubling on the Queen's portrait or a slight misprint in the shield. To most people, it's a minor flaw, but in the world of coin collectors, it's a jackpot. The 2015 2 pence coin also tells a broader story about the changing role of coins in modern society. By this time, digital payments and contactless transactions were rapidly growing, and the use of small coins was slowly declining. Yet, the Royal Mint continued to produce millions of these coins every year, ensuring that physical money retained its place in everyday life. Interestingly, many of the 2015 coins were minted for collector sets and uncirculated coin packs, giving them a brilliant shine that still attracts numismatists today. However, reports of error coins from this year have sparked interest across the collecting community. Some 2015 coins were found with slight off-center strikes, uneven copper plating, or faint marks that make them stand out. Others developed natural toning over time. Beautiful rainbow hues formed through oxidation, which can make a single coin look like a work of art. Collectors love such details because they make each coin unique. And the most exciting part? Not all of these varieties have been officially recorded. Somewhere in the world, sitting in someone's coin jar or wallet, could be a 2015 2 pence coin worth far more than 2 pence. A rare find waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. In the grand story of British coinage, the 2015 2 pence coin stands as a modern icon. It bridges centuries of royal history, celebrates artistic innovation, and reflects the incredible precision of modern minting. It may be small, but its story stretches across generations, from the first decimal coins of the 1970s to the digitally engraved masterpieces of today. For most people, it's just a piece of pocket change. For collectors, it's a symbol of legacy and craftsmanship. Every tiny detail, from the Queen's digitally sculpted portrait to the piece of the shield on its reverse, represents how even the simplest coin can carry meaning far beyond its face value. And with whispers of rare errors, variations, and hidden treasures still circulating, the 2015 2 pence coin keeps a certain suspense alive. That thrilling possibility that your everyday change could contain something extraordinary. So next time you come across a 2p coin from 2015, take a closer look, because it might not just be another coin. It might be a story, a legacy, and perhaps a treasure waiting for you to discover.